What's going on, everyone? It's Wesley back with you today with Core 4 Sports. In today's video, I'm going to be starting a little bracketology series going week by week until we finally get our bracket coming out in March. Today's video, I'm just going to be going through the top 4 seed lines, looking at projections, seeing how rankings stand out, and what teams might be making the tournament as a top 4 seed if the season were to end today, and taking a look at what it might look like come March. So with that, let's get into it.
So here we are, guys. This website, bracketmatrix.com, compiles every single prediction bracket and puts it into an average seed, and then shows these seeds averaged out. And today we're just going to be looking at the top 4 seed lines. So let's get into our first seed line, the number 1 seeds. Number 1, you have Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and Ohio State. Now, the top 3 are pretty convincing. You have a 1 solid even, a 1 solid even, and then a 1.04, which is pretty good. And then you have 1.24 for Ohio State as their average seed line. Then if you have Illinois, who's the top 2 seed at the moment, you have a 1.92. Now, yes, that is a pretty big difference. But let's look at when Illinois and Ohio State played. Ohio State beat Illinois earlier in the year, and they also will play on March the 6th, and possibly then again in the Big Ten tournament. So come March and come Selection Sunday, we should have a better idea. And if they play twice, I bet whoever wins those 2 games will most likely be the last 1 seed, unless one of these teams make a big jump. Now let's go into our 2 seed line. Our 2 seed line is also very interesting. Obviously, we have Illinois, then we have Villanova, Alabama, and Houston. Villanova is the team I want to talk about. Villanova right now only has 2 quadrant 1 wins, and they are currently ranked 9th in the net rankings and 8th in Ken Pom. Now, the net rankings is a system that the NCAA uses to help rank these teams, and the selection committee uses it as well. Then Ken Pom is a private website that uses and measures offensive and defensive efficiency to create rankings of the best teams in the country. So now Villanova looks like they are properly placed, but then let's go to a team like Alabama. Alabama is currently 10th in Ken Pom and 10th in the net rankings, which would put them good enough for a 3 seed, middle of the pack 3 seed in this year's tournament. But Alabama also right now does have 5 quadrant 1 wins. So that means they're going to be bumped up, as those are 5 really good wins, and so that's why they are getting a 2 seed in this tournament. Houston, however, is ranked 4th and 5th in Ken Pom in the net rankings, and they currently only have 2 quad 1 wins. So Houston, right now, I think, is a little too high. Even though they're ranked 4th and 5th in those 2 ranking categories, they only have 2 quadrant 1 wins, and I think they're going to have to play better basketball if they want to possibly keep and hold the 2 line, as you're going to see a lot of these big conference teams make pushes late and play a lot of really good teams from up here later in the season. Now let's go to our 3 line. Our 3 line has Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, and Iowa. Now, all of these teams right here could possibly make it 2, but some of these teams, like West Virginia, Tennessee, could probably drop to a 4 seed. Virginia right now has a 2.8 average seed ranking, and they are a really good team. However, though, Virginia is ranked 9th in Ken Pom, 6th in the net, and has 3 quad 1 wins. Virginia most likely will win a conference tournament or a regular season conference title, which will give them an automatic bid and a boost when seeding decisions come around. So I do think Virginia as a 3 or better seed is almost a lock for March. West Virginia is a pretty interesting team. West Virginia has 5 quad 1 wins, but they are currently ranked 16th in both Ken Pom and the net rankings. Yes, right now West Virginia has an average seed of 3.45, which puts them as tied for 2nd best 3 seed, but they will have to play a lot of tough games coming down the stretch, and I'm not sure if they will hold as a 3. Next is Tennessee. Tennessee right now also has a 3.45 ranking, but they are ranked 14th in Ken Pom and 11th in the net. If they're ranked 14th, they're just outside of a 3 seed, and if they're ranked 11th in the net, that's right where they are right here. Lastly is Iowa as our 3 seed. Iowa currently has a 3.5 ranking, and Iowa is a really good team who's ranked 5th in KenPom and 8th in the net rankings and has 4 quadrant 1 wins. I think Iowa is a little low. I think they could be bumped up to a 2-line eventually. I think if they get another marquee win against someone like Ohio State, Illinois, or Michigan, which I do believe they will play, at least one of those teams more than likely, I think they should get bumped up to a 2-line or at least be the best 3 seed in the country. For our 4th and final seed line, you have Texas, Missouri, Texas Tech, and Wisconsin. 4 very interesting teams, and as you can see, the gap between Texas Tech and, say, Florida State, who is the 3rd 5 seed, is not really all that big. We are under 1 seed line here, and under a smaller amount when you get to teams like Wisconsin and Oklahoma. Now, Texas is an interesting team. They started out really well in the year, but they are ranked 19th in KenPom and 20th in the net and only have 3 quad 1 victories. This means that they should be good enough for a 5 seed and should not be on the highest 4 line, but some people are giving them more credit than they, I think, deserve. So right now, they are currently on the 4 line. Next is Missouri. Missouri is in the SEC. SEC really is kind of having a down year, except for Alabama, Tennessee, and Missouri, as I am talking about them now. They're currently averaging a 3.95, which is about spot on for a 4 seed. Missouri is currently, though, ranked 38th in KenPom and 34th in the net. Now, that's not really that good at all for either ranking system, so Missouri is going to have to prove that they can keep winning games, keep winning them at a high level if they want to hold their 4 line, or I think what's more likely going to happen is they're probably going to drop to a 5 seed come March. Next is Texas Tech. Texas Tech is in the very good Big 12. They are averaging a 4.07 average seed, which is just about spot on for the 4 as well. Texas Tech this year is ranked 18th currently in KenPom, 14th in the net, and has 4 quad 1 victories, which looks like a pretty good average spot for them being a 4 seed or better come March. Finally, to round out our top 16, our final 4 seed is Wisconsin. Wisconsin is going to be another Big Ten team. I believe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Big Ten teams in the top 16. That's crazy if I'm counting straight. And I think they deserve it. Wisconsin right now has 3 quad 1 victories. Not great, but they're ranked 12th in KenPom and 18th in the net, which averages out about to be a 4 seed. The thing is, though, is a lot of these teams are going to play each other. You're going to have the Big Ten tournament, the Big 12 tournament, and you still have a couple weeks left in conference play, so who knows what could happen between all of these teams. Now, let's go to our bubble watch real quick. Right now on our bubble, on our 5 line, we have Oklahoma, USC, Florida State, and Kansas. Now, you have 2 Big 12 teams in here, and I believe Oklahoma did beat Kansas early in the year, but I still think they also have one more matchup to go. USC, however, is currently ranked 17th in the net, and they only have 3 quad 1 victories, but while also being 13th in KenPom. I do think USC should crack the 4 line or higher. They're most likely going to be the Pac-12 winner. It looks like there's not really that many good teams in the Pac-12 this year. It's okay, though. And then you're going to have a team like Florida State who's going to have to try and beat a good Virginia team in a pretty down ACC, as North Carolina and Duke really just aren't bringing that firepower that we are used to in their top 10 rankings. It's just not here this year. Lastly, you have Kansas and Oklahoma. Kansas and Oklahoma are interesting. Kansas right now has 4 quad 1 victories along with Oklahoma. Oklahoma is ranked 19th in the net, and Kansas is ranked 21st. And then Oklahoma is ranked 23rd in KenPom, and Kansas is ranked 22nd. About dead even, but as I said earlier, Oklahoma did beat Kansas earlier, and they're at least going to play one more time. And so I think whoever wins those 2 victories will be the higher seed come March.
So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for making it here to the end. I really appreciate you watching. If you like this video, be sure to like down below. Also, if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to just subscribe, as we're going to be coming out with a lot of new content related to college basketball and all other sports very soon and very quickly, as we just continue to grow and build this channel. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and this is Wesley from Core 4 Sports.